Damn, start the mic. Hey, welcome to LARPgate Year 3. I am General Griswold Gaius Grimm of the 1st LARP Ingression Protocol, representative of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency. Hello. I see the assassins have failed. And, also representative of the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. We're people too. Okay, today we're doing a very special adjunct professor episode of Homeroom, starring Pastor Paul Vanderklay. I am professing that I am now the adjunct professor, the professor of adjuncts for... We're joined today by the Hive Mind chat starring Neutrino, The Chris Show, CW Weeks, look at that, mostly not working, who is clearly mostly not working, Phlebas, Josh Dixon with the early question, do you dig Nabokov's pale fire? I don't... That sounds like a good spell, but I don't have that in my lexicon, in my grimoire. But pale fire is pretty symbolic, right? You reacted to a replicant reciting it. Oh, why aren't you helping the tortoise, man? Why aren't you helping the tortoise? Lenny, good to see you. Eve, and Magic with the hot link. Yes, the soft friends. Welcome to the soft friends. Today we're doing a special adjunct thing where imitation is the flattery, and we're going to be covering this Pastor Paul homeroom with our good friend Scott Adams. And hey, Lenny wants to come on. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't met him yet, Dr. Lenny Time from the Hive Mind chat. Welcome, Lenny. I don't hear you yet.
Greetings.
There you are.
Let me turn off the live stream. Here we go. Now I have the live stream off.
All right, guys, let me know if Lenny is echoing through my mic because I fiddled with things. Welcome,
Okay.
Lenny. Here, introduce yourself to the folks, would you?
Hey, folks. I'm Dr. Lenny Time.
Wait.
Okay.
1, 2, now.
Okay, I'm Dr. Lenny Time. I am a chemist by training, but a jack of all trades, lots of experience, and I'm one of the newcomers for LARPgate 3. So I'll be a regular person appearing with Grizz, and my area of expertise is everything. So we can talk about water, we can talk about world, we can talk about spin.
Water. Humans are how oceans love.
Well, yeah. Humans are just big water factories, and I believe that consciousness arises from the water, not from the organic structure, which is just scaffolding. But that takes me out away from 99.9% of the biologists in the world who insist that the organic structure is what makes the human.
Well, everybody likes to have their hobby horse. Are you ready to ride shotgun through this Pastor Paul thing, or are you going to dip back out while I do it?
I think I'll dip back out while you do it. I want to listen to Pastor Paul, and it's just a little difficult listening and being on screen both.
Boy, howdy. Thanks for coming on, Lenny.
Most certainly. You be well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lenny Time from the Hive Mind chat. You can chat with him out there with the Chris Show and CW Weeks. Phlebas, what is Phlebas saying? Some echo. He got... Okay, thank you, Phlebas. +2 to the next one. I've been on for a year, but don't join because I'm no longer a cruck. No, hey, I'm not on... Thales! Okay. Let's get started. Let's do part of it at least. Eh? Okay, here we go. 1 and 2
and his nihilism. So let's listen to the clip.
Chat GPT, the AI, is being combined with Bing, the search engine, Microsoft search engine. And they did their little rollout kind of demo for the public, and it didn't go well. It didn't.
All right. Everybody who's not new, -5 to these for not, like, holding me to getting them done. Should have had Lenny to explain them to you. Okay. We're doing savings throws against mind control now. You're swimming in mind control constantly. Here's a save against it. You get to pick between survival, social, wisdom, or heart. If it's over 10, you take half damage. If it's under 10, you take full damage from the rest of the mind control. And everybody who didn't pressure me into getting these done before putting Scott Adams' voice in your head, -5. Survivalists. Oh, wait, I say choose. And then, I gotta reroll. Sorry, reroll. You know, this is live for a reason. Choose. Oh, there you go. Survivalists with a nat 20. Blam. Socialists. Just a 7 today, but chakras and stuff. Wisdom, folks. You, the sensate of you. And the heart, folks. That's a 3, but you come here because you failed the mind. Oh, and the 9. I don't know, I might have had an extra. What's up, Nameless? You had some prayer requests in your drop this morning. That was pretty fancy. But since you did arrive in the show, here's this, Embody.
Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
I was sitting with my phone. Now I'm virtually not alone.
Didn't go well. Do you know what people are finally figuring out about Chat GPT? That is a language-based intelligence. Kind of demo for the public, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. Do you know what people are finally figuring out about Chat GPT? That is a language-based intelligence. Now, that was never a secret.
And that's an important thing. Actually, we had our estuary meeting last night. We had some people in the room who work on AI. Tend to get a lot of technology people, people work in that industry. And Chat GPT looks at patterns of language that people use that they can pull from their data source on the internet, and that's basically how they construct things. Someone sent me a Chat GPT where it asked about Jonathan Peugeot, and it mentioned that Jonathan Peugeot is the son of Jordan Peterson, and that was just what the thing spit out. Now, the love of Jesus Christ and to bring new life to those who don't exist. You start reading these things like, sometimes like, the goal of evangelism, to reach the lost, to show them the way at any cost. Christian atheists, they'll come to see the sacred love that sets them free. With hearts full of grace and compassion, we'll show them the way with a smile. No matter what they may believe, our love will always go the extra mile. Of course, GPT doesn't have the wherewithal to go and figure these things out. It's sort of locked in its own little box. And so depending on the data set, you'll get these kinds of things.
It was always known, but I don't think people quite...
These kinds out, it's sort of locked in its own little box. And so depending on the data set, you'll get these kinds of things.
Experimental environment because it is one to which the child is well acquainted. The unfamiliar additions include a food dispenser loaded with snacks and a plastic lever, which when pressed exposes a light, causes the dispenser motor to sound, and produces the snack reinforcer. Before the actual establishment of lever pressing behavior, it is best to separately establish the function of the light and sound as stimuli which reliably signal an upcoming reinforcement. The child has already been trained to stand near the dispenser as individual snacks were dropped into the food tray, so that a number of activities dealing with the free exploration of the dispenser and whatever else is strange to the child have probably been positively reinforced.
We got a hot, fresh one from even the hive mind. Says, language, did you hear that? How do we express consciousness? Nuicht can only be controlled and handled by American English. What do you think that does to the collective? Actually, that's kind of what we're beginning to cover in the hot new over on my channel. Share this tab instead. This new exciting premiere tomorrow of Medial Framing, #1 of X. That's premiering in 23 hours. We're beginning to examine this. What do you think that does to the collective? Actually, Eve. So thanks for bringing that up. Be sure and tune in for that premiere tomorrow. You can set yourself to be all notified like that. I guess we'll go back here now.
It was always known, but I don't think people quite understood what that implied, right? They don't know what that implies. And what it implies is there is no intelligence happening. There's no intelligence happening. It's just using words.
Now you have to ask the question, okay, what do you mean by intelligence?
In whatever...
I'm glad you asked, Pastor Paul, and I'm also glad that Neutrino mentioned something in the Hive Mind chat. Some anomalies are anomalies, I guess. Well, you see, what happened was, in the Discord this morning, I found a link from Neutrino to this video over here, of which I have made a convenient clip, and it got him the Reaper Room access from Denizen status. So I thought I'd bring that up. Congratulations on your promotion to the Reaper's Hall, Neutrino. There's lots of toys in there. You and Gavin are already starting on a new wing. But here's what Neutrino brought to us. via the Discord.
Psyop soldiers use their skills to change attitudes, behaviors, values, beliefs, and influence foreign audiences through executing actions and the delivery of messages utilizing a variety of techniques. Trained in persuasive techniques, Psyop soldiers use their skills to change.
That wasn't. There's this part where they break down the different types of intelligence that we could do a nice. What do they call that? Fab. The new thing that they brought us, the Figma. We could play with our Figma on it, right, and separate out the types of intelligence that they go over in this fancy video. But check this bit out. Check this bit out. No, not yet. You have to hit the share tab, and then make it big.
Field. That wouldn't be relevant for us. What we cared about was word on the street type things. We wanted to hear when, say, two 18-year-olds or two 30-year-olds are talking about the state of the government or the state of security or the state of the economy.
So the role of an atmospherics manager is to get on the streets.
Moving through a field. That wouldn't be relevant for us. What we cared about was word on the street type things. We wanted to hear when, say, two 18-year-olds or two 30-year-olds are talking about the state of the government or the state of security or the state of the economy.
So the role of an atmospherics manager is to get.
Or the state of the economy.
So the role of an atmospherics manager is to get.
Patterns and combinations have existed in the real world, and then it looks for patterns and combinations that seem maybe more prominent, and then it adopts that view.
And so, in other words, it's sort of a machine that watches how we talk based on the data that it has available to us, and it constructs answers to questions according to the data it has available to us, which is basically how we talk. So a friend in the estuary who's Sikh, many of you have seen Raj on many of the This Little Corner channels.
And if you haven't, this is where a team of lobster monkeys that were managing your channel would go through and insert one of these cards, the cards that show up in the top right corner, that link to such fabulous conversations and such as one might find with Raj on way over here. Let's go to the 33rd minute of that and see what we were saying. I asked you about the reincarnation thing. What's the cosmology in your religion? Is there afterlife? Contentious.
Yeah, like many religious things. So there's references to reincarnation, heaven and hell realms inside the scripture. Most people would probably say that there is reincarnation in terms of cosmology, and that when you die, but it's very different from Buddhist or Hindu reincarnation. In Sikhi, the human life is considered the best life, which is similar to some Hinduisms and Buddhism, but you don't have this thing where you level up one level or level down one level. So it's like, I was a pretty good guy, so maybe I'm born again as a human being, but a little bit higher in the caste system.
Or I committed suicide last time, so now I have to live 1,000 lives in the caste system.
Basically went to ChatGPT and tried asking questions about Sikhism, and it basically knows nothing. Another person of our estuary teaches at a local community college, has a PhD in neuropsychology, was asking it questions and basically saw it doesn't know a lot. If you know a lot and you push it, you will see just how limited it is. The assumption is, well, it will get better. An interesting question is that once this thing starts displacing search engines, what will happen to all the data which is basically being parasitized from human beings and search engines, when all of these people putting their recipes and their ideas out on search engines and trying to get monetized by the...
We've been worshiping the algorithm, and now the algorithm is no longer going to be a way for us to monetize? Oh no! Oh no!
The web traffic that search engines are sending to those websites and getting advertising money now suddenly no longer works because nobody's making money on the internet. And then in some ways you're just cutting off these AIs from new info.
I gotta complain, okay? The thing is, what the agents that have been created should be doing is being our interface with the algorithm. They should be the new priests, because we don't speak algorithm and algorithm doesn't speak us. And now we've built this layer of chatbot that can navigate the religious mumbo jumbo formatted language of the law and the government programs way better than any meat sack can. The paralegals I trained to be, that's exactly what these chatbots should be doing. And it's just like they showed us in the movie Jupiter Ascending and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where like the bots dealt with the bureaucracy. Wait, what?
Information, because they're dependent on us for information about the quote-unquote real world.
So none of that is based on fact or logic or anything. It's just words have done this with humans, so I'll act like a human and do words like they do words, basically. That's the worst explanation of AI you've ever seen.
No, it is not.
Bye bye love. Bye bye happiness. Hello algo mess. I feel like I could cry. Dilbert does not rock. What? All right. Let us go to the one Mainly, I got Mitz and Chad and Gavin in the town square promoting their own material. But I would like to introduce you to another contributor to the town square somewhere in this tab. Oh, here we go. With his masterpiece work, Why I Support Bill Gates. Why I Support Bill Gates. It's collective dismal. With the fancy hashtags, incel, black pill, red pill, demographics, it's over, boomers.
We're gonna make a video, and this video is about Bill Gates, the World Economic Forum, the New World Order, the jabs, depopulation, etc. And why I kind of like it, actually. I don't really have this reactionary position that most on the far right. They're these spiteful mutant types, openness, low in trade openness. They're these spiteful mutant types, openness, low in
Resolution.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said.
Contretemps.
That's what you said.
Contretemps.
Okay. What's that? What is it? What is it? The word contretemps refers to an inconvenient or embarrassing occurrence or situation. It can also refer to a dispute or argument. Fresco means the art of painting on freshly spread moist lime plaster using water-based pigments. It's also the word for a painting executed in this style. Oh, Quidditch.
Let me give you some advice, bastard. Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you.
Analogies aren't persuasive per se, but they are fundamentally crucial to human-level intelligence. That's why almost every standardized intelligence test tests for analogy. A is to B as C is to D, the ability to translate between domains. He plays a different game than most on Twitter, though. Certainly much more different than the word cells. What the fuck is a word cell? Is that a derogatory term for the sapiosexual? What the fuck? The rationalist will say something like, here are the facts. Now you must submit and say I am right. Adams is more like, here's why I'm right. A very different game. Thank you for your insight, Sean. Thank you for your insight, Sean Chu. I'm presenting, for those of you just listening, a Dilbert comic strip from Wednesday, March the 1st that shows a dog at a computer laptop there, and a Dilbert character behind him saying, how's it going with your unethical scheme to become an internet success guru? To the dog, he's asking the dog this. And the dog responds, not bad. I gained 12 million followers on Instagram in 1 week. And then the dog asks the man as the man walks away, how's honesty working out for you? And the man says, shut up.
I have seen far worse. It might not be perfect, but it ain't bad.
But you get the idea. Now, here's what I've been warning you forever. The reason that AI will never have real intelligence, like people, is that your intelligence is imaginary.
And he has been saying this for as long as I've listened to him. He is a nihilist.
And now, something from the video that Chezi gave me the other day. Clearly a ginger plot.
America, to be safe, would have to start producing localized food productions, meaning right now a lot of the food we put in us is just poison. It's really unhealthy. So if everyone in their community, let's say, pulled together, or the Chabad Shliach of a certain community said, we have an empty plot of land, we're going to do a community greenhouse where we're going to start to grow our organic fruits and vegetables. And we'll put a few chickens, and the kids can come and volunteer, and we'll have some eggs. This already starts to create a very healthy community environment where people are focusing on their health and their wellness, bringing people together in a positive environment. And also it's going to create food abundance, which is part of the prophecy of the Messianic era. Right now we have, we're growing some food here and we're shipping it to China. They're processing it, putting in some poison, sending it back to us. And I learned from drug addicts, if you're a drug addict, you have to always get to your source. Drug addicts always cut out middlemen over time and try to get to the source of their drugs. And without their drugs, it's chaos. So cut out middlemen over time and try to get to the source of their drugs. And without their drugs, it's chaos. So in going.
Oh, let that be a lesson to you priests and other clergymen that would be between us and the source of divine inspiration who's been hiding in our hearts and our closets the whole fucking time. What?
Going forward in America to be safe would have to start producing localized food productions, meaning right now a lot of the food we put in us is just poison. It's really unhealthy. So if everyone in their community, let's say, pull together
information, and let's start here.
Information is contained in those two pictures.
Yes, I did.
I suspect it's almost equal. I think the question you should have asked is how much truth is contained in those two pictures. Now, to come back to your precise question.
A piece rate basis. The faster one works, the more one may earn. The size of the ratio of responses to reinforcement may be set to any value. But if we wish to promote smooth and sustained performance by fixed ratio schedules, it is best to keep the quota low in the beginning and to gradually raise the stakes.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Question. The first picture shows what people commonly call the ascent of man.
Yes.
From lower animals.
Yes.
Now, here's where Darwin helped me massively by expressing in a letter a profound doubt. He said, you know, and I'm only paraphrasing because I haven't got the quote in my head. He said,
No, wait, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Where is it? Where is it? It's open G. There it is.
yes. In a letter, a profound doubt. He said, you know, and I'm only paraphrasing because I haven't got the quote in my head. He said, you know, I'm troubled by the fact that if my explanation is correct, then how do we account for the human capacity for rational thought? He said, after all, if we started with lower animals and a monkey's mind, he said, well, is there any thinking in a monkey's mind? Now, hold that just for a moment, because I have lots of fun with my scientific.
Because that's the only thing you would learn. You couldn't possibly look at human interactions and conclude that we tell the truth, or even try, So if it was trying to model us and match us, it would lie. And it does. And it does. Try. At human interactions and conclude that we tell the truth, or even try.
You can't look at human interactions until we... Wait, hold on. Sorry. This is my first time.
Conclude that we tell the truth. You couldn't possibly look at human interactions and conclude that we tell the truth.
You couldn't look at our interactions and conclude we tell the truth.
Or even try.
So if
it was trying to model us and match us, it would lie.
Try.
And it does.
And it does.
And it does. Not only does it lie, it does a complete gap.
All right, I was going to let you do it, but you can learn this song if you wanted, guys. That's why I called the clip oddly lyrical, isn't it? As if he's a rhetorical wizard. What?
asked if it was truth or humans, would you lie? Yeah, you would, because that's the only thing you would learn. You couldn't possibly look at human interactions and conclude that we tell the truth, or even try. So if it was trying to model us and match us, it would lie. And it does. And it does. Not only does it lie, it does a complete gaslight in telling you you've never seen anything contrary. There's a whole detailed story that didn't exist. I mean, it's the worst possible situation.
And again, what he's saying about this is true, but he's just told us that there is no truth.
You're trying.
I got a little carried away explaining the inner workings of the institution to Jim.
I got a little carried away.
I don't really come from outer space. Oh, L.J. Washington, he doesn't really come from outer space.
Don't mock me, my friend.
Washington doesn't really come from outer space.
Friends, I sometimes ask them, what do you do science with? And of course, they name some expensive machine. I say, no. Oh, they say, you mean and they're about to say mind when they realize that's not politically correct. And they say your brain. I said, okay, I believe the brain and the mind are separate, but where's your brain? Give me the brief history of the brain. I ask them, and I've done this many times. It's fascinating. And they say, well, the brain in the end.
Well, Santo Antonio, have I got great news for you. There's months and months of replays that could use your view count over on the Grim. No, I've been diverted by the hive mind. If he's a wizard, what's the spell called? Has diverted me. Thanks, Ben. Senor Zabala is laying it on us, and so I have to go back now to the clip stream channel where the Reapers bring hot, fresh drippings like this one from Mostly Not Working right here. I haven't even seen it yet. Good, and there's words about it that say what it is. I can't read right now. Thank you. Mostly. Am I showing?
My channel. We're not even clever machines sometimes. We're non-player characters that are mouthing scripts given to us by entities above us that we're not terribly cognizant of, and we're partly willfully blind to because of the philosophical assumptions that are been roaming around since the Enlightenment.
I would like to point out over his left shoulder, there's a 12 Lobster Monkey logo cup that I think you can still order, even though they were supposed to be limited edition. And on over his right shoulder, there's a Kermit, a vampire, and a Joe Rogan. And isn't it just symbolically interesting what appeared on which side of what shoulder. Okay, so I'm sorry, but we're still on the big derail from Ben up there. If he's a wizard, what's the spell called? I had to go back and find this clip here from the gift from Neutrino this morning, which I will place here now to get back to this video.
In persuasive techniques, Psyop soldiers use their skills to change attitudes, behaviors, values, beliefs, and influence foreign audiences through executing actions in the delivery of messages, utilizing a variety of techniques.
This was all the motivation he needed. He signed up for the army and went through boot camp and then went straight into Psyops.
So the very first position is
it wasn't terribly inconvenient, I'd continue to let it play while I do the Control F search for int, but it is. So, here we are. About 15 minutes deep.
For the city. Just essentially, it's a type of human intelligence without using the proper title. Contractors are not allowed to do human intelligence.
Human intelligence? Let's hit the brakes here for a second and just peek down this rabbit hole. There are many types of intelligent gathering methodology. You might already be aware of SIGINT, and this is signals intelligence. Basically, the goal of SIGINT is to capture signals that the adversary is broadcasting. This could be wiretapping phone calls, listening on radio transmissions, but more recently, it's been computer hacking too, like reading emails or listening through the internet for messages that are being sent online. But there's also GeoInt, or sometimes known as IMINT, and this is image intelligence, basically aerial photography or knowledge.
So there you go. Thanks, Ben, for the beautiful derail. If you want to go deep into like the actual names of the various spells, it's not something I can just, I have to go look it up in the rule book and read through the spell names, check the levels. And nobody's even written the book yet, so it's pretty hard right now, but I hope that was helpful. Wizardry or circuitry logic? We don't know. Now, Weeks has this big, hard thing to read. Let's see if I can do it. Like, the professionals charge $10 a chat read. I don't know if that's true. Lambert Zuderwart has an interesting book on truth theory coming out soon. Social domains of truth, science, politics, art, and religion. Not the brain, the water. Not the brain, the water. I call it the downward spiral. Didn't you call TLC idiots on Digital Gnosis a while ago? Asking for a friend. OMG, it's the drama, ladies and gentlemen. Buy an Iggy shirt that doesn't exist yet. Hey, no, I didn't click it twice. Take it out on the pure Paintball for Jesus battle in Chino 2023. I plan to be crucified, but have yet to secure an athletic supporter. What's the truth? Asked the pilot. It depends on depends on what the navigator says.
Is the end product of a mindless, unguided process. And I smile at them and I say...
And, of course, according to Scott Adams, it still is. It's still stuck there.
And you trust it. I say, now tell me honestly, that computer you use every day, if you knew that it was the end product of a mindless, unguided process, would you trust it? Now, here's the thing. I have spoken with dozens of leading scientists and pushed them on this, and every single one has said no. I said, you have a problem, because you are giving me an argument that undermines rationality. And they turn to me and they say, where did you get that argument? I said, well, firstly, from Charles.
Why, I got it from Griswold Grimm on the Virtually Not Alone network. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best.
Darwin. They say, I don't believe you. And then I quote Darwin. Yeah. Darwin's doubt,
this
not
was
the
his
one.
Other doubt.
That's his other doubt.
Yep.
Darwin's doubt about the reliability of human
the mind.
rationality.
Yep.
Now, this, to my mind, goes to the heart of the implication of the whole business. And it's why I believe that there is an intelligence behind the universe. I'm a mathematician. All mathematicians and scientists are people of faith, not necessarily in God, but they believe in the rational intelligibility of the universe.
Now, whenever they say rational intelligibility of the universe, I'm immediately kicked back to Karen Wong's coverage of Wolfram's thing about pockets of intelligibility and how that maps to the Dark Tower movie, at least. But the ability to bring the clips to you is exceeded by my ability to see them and reference them in my head.
And the
Now, what's
reliability of the mind to perceive.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and therefore, what
and the reliability, Meyer said, and the reliability of the mind to perceive it. And that's exactly what Adam says. We have none of that. Okay, so not only is the universe not rationally intelligible, but we don't have a mind to perceive it. So it just really makes you wonder how we keep the rain out of the houses, but go on.
they base that on?
I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? I dislike when they use all and none. I exclude myself from their all. From their all. What? John Lennox makes sense. I don't know who that is. He might not. It also reminds me of that Annie Lennox song. I don't know. Sins of the Father, perhaps. Sins of the Father. Father.
If you base that on a mindless, unguided evolutionary process, you're destroying rationality. C.S. Lewis saw that in the 1940s. He said any theory that undermines rationality cannot be true because you're using your rationality to get to it. Alvin Plantinga's worked on it, but the most interesting person who brings it now to the fore is Thomas Nail.
Who are you to judge who's interesting, sir? Sir? Okay, I have a side rant. Like, the evolutionary folks are ignoring the Denisovian cave. And it's really irritating that they are. So, tell them about it for me.
Nagel, the philosopher in New York. And he says there's something wrong here. Because if you follow evolutionary naturalism, it undermines the very rationality you need to believe, not only in evolutionary naturalism, but in any theory at all. So my major problem, Peter, in all of this is not the mathematics. That's just an interesting bit of evidence. It's that here I am engaged in a rational discipline of mathematics. That all dissolves.
Reality for me in every way. Nevertheless, Ogo is actually a construct of my psyche. I am mentally divergent in that I am escaping certain unnamed realities that plague my life here.
Resolution.
The act or process of resolving, such as the act of analyzing a complex notion to simpler ones, the act of answering, solving, the act of determining. Determining. What is determining?
Determine.
To fix conclusively or authoritatively.
Contretemps.
To decide by judicial sentience. To settle or decide by choice. To settle, decide, to fix conclusively or authoritatively.
Determine.
Come on. All right. So then, two.
So one of the women that came to Estuary had a great topic in the Estuary, and she says, you know what, I'd love to engage in a process where two people disagree on a substantive thing and they can actually come together and talk it down all the way to the bottom, and don't end by agreeing to disagree, but actually get to resolution. Yeah. That
Remember,
assumes
there is no agency.